What's up guys, and welcome to Flashback. It's week 8 of the EU LCS, and as we come down to the playoff stretch in the final 2 weeks, every game counts and every matchup matters. Let's see what happened. We got week 8 started with Splyce and Roccat fighting to keep their hopes of playoffs alive. It was Roccat who pulled the trigger and picked up the first kills of the game. But Splyce's patience paid off with a massive teamfight win that put them fully in control. And even though it took over 45 minutes, Splyce finally closed out Roccat to grab a critical win in the race to playoffs.
That fight is lost! That game is lost! Splyce, when it counts!
H2K was without Sheriff, so Selfie and Shook stepped in against Misfits. H2K got into the driver's seat early with great top lane focus and aggressive shot calling. But it all came crashing down when Maxlor secured a clutch, yet lucky, Baron steal.
It's gonna go! He spotted early, but he got it anyways!
And from there, Misfits were unstoppable as they picked up a much-needed comeback win and kept pace for first place. Then, it was G2 Esports trying to keep pace for a bye, while the Unicorns were battling for their playoff dreams. Both teams came out swinging for the fences, and it was fights on fights on fights. But with Marksman back in business, it was all Hjarnan as he let the arrows fly and carried G2 to a hard-fought victory. After being absent for 12 games, it was finally time for the return of Reckless as Fnatic looked to put an end to Giants' miracle run. And Fnatic didn't miss a beat. It was all about Caps as he made huge plays and applied pressure all over the map. Then it was only a matter of time before Reckless got cooking to dish the damage. With that, Fnatic picked up an easy win that tied them with Misfits at the top of the table. To round out day 1, we had a battle of the 9-5s between Schalke Nilfia and Vitality. Schalke were reading Vitality like a book, limiting their trademark aggression while making plays of their own. And even though it wasn't totally clean,
down to one. Here comes Kikis! Here comes Kikis! The steal is real, the knock is dead! How did you miss it, Kikis? Schalke somehow still secure it! And once again, it's the top lane god, it's Chachi!
Schalke rallied around Nuke Duck and Upset as they took down Vitality to win their 4th straight game and move into a tie for 3rd place with G2 Esports. After Friday saw Akali's win rate shooting up to 100%, the teams went home to strategize on how to deal with her on Saturday. The answer? Ban her. Day 2 got going with Vitality looking to bounce back against H2K. Vitality came out of the gates looking for blood, and they quickly grabbed the lead. And while it once again wasn't very pretty,
oh no! Oh, H2K, they're laughing, because that one's a freebie!
Vitality eventually found a way to grab the win and lock themselves into a spot for playoffs. Next up, Roccat faced a must-win game to stay in the playoffs race as they squared off against the Unicorns of Love. It went off the rails quick as both teams threw haymakers back and forth with little regard for personal safety. But it was the Unicorns of Love who were the ones to conjure up just enough late-game magic to take the win and deliver the knockout blow to Rockat's playoff chances. Giants Gaming still had a glimmer of hope for playoffs, but they had to take the win against Schalke Nilfia. But Schalke wasn't about to let that happen. And no matter what Giants tried, Schalke had all the answers.
Visit Chachi does it again for Schalke!
And with that, they cruised to an easy win that locked the top 6 teams into playoffs and proved they're one of the best teams in Europe. Then, the match of the week between G2 Esports and Misfits was on deck. G2 was in control from the start, but they blasted the game wide open with a beautiful Baron fight that tore Misfits to shreds. And with a wave of momentum behind them, G2 quickly and confidently closed out Misfits for a dominant victory. We closed out week 8 with Fnatic setting their sights on outright first place as they faced off against Splyce. And what a battle it was. Things were looking dire for Splyce after Fnatic took a fight and a messy Baron in the 23rd minute, but as it turns out, that was only the beginning. Splyce successfully held on against all the odds, and when Fnatic went for Baron, Splyce made a brilliant 200 IQ call to take Elder instead of contesting. This gave Splyce the breath of air and damage they needed to stand up to Fnatic in fights that were being decided on razor-thin margins.
Copy's got the GA and he's shredding through Soaz's HP bar. The piercing arrow takes down Soaz!
But just when it looked like Splyce had turned the corner for a crazy comeback win, Fnatic found the flank they needed to take down Splyce's backline and secure the win in one of the most insane EU LCS games of all time.
73% of the fans believed in Splyce, and Caps silences them!
On that crazy note, we're on to week 9. It's the final week before playoffs, and with all 6 playoff teams decided, it's bound to get messy in the battle for first place, especially when Misfits try to claim that spot by taking down Vitality in the match of the week. It all begins at 5:30 p.m. CEST on Friday the 17th of August. You won't want to miss it.